Hey guys, got a video for you on the M2R Warrior flashlight from Olight. Been carrying it for 3 or 4 weeks now. I've got a fair bit of experience with use on it, and I wanted to bring you guys the details, my opinion, and I have an unboxing that I'll throw in at the very end. Stick with me. We'll get down on a stump or something that we can give you a better look at this, and we'll get started. Alright guys, before I jump into the actual video, I want to let you know that there is a sale coming up July 12th to 16th. The M2R Warrior will be part of that sale. I believe it's going on sale for 20% off. So Olight has also provided me affiliate links for United States and Canada. Those will be listed down below. If you're going to go ahead and purchase anything from Olight, please go ahead and use those links. It greatly helps me out with the channel and gives me the opportunity to grab more lights like this for you. So stick with me, we'll jump into it. Alright guys, I just wanted to dive into some of the details on this light and kind of give you my overview on it. I've been carrying this, like I said, 3 or 4 weeks now. Came with a really sweet sheath. It's different that the clip is actually tied in to this loop, but it makes no negative difference. Just I guess keeps it from flopping around. Retains it really nice. I've used this plenty, and it's no worse for wear. You know, as much as you can, carrying it for a month or so. I've also tried the pocket clip, which works really nice, but it's got the snap option if you don't want to undo your belt, or you can run it right through things. The snap option is also good for MOLLE webbing, of course. It's a little short, but you can get it through probably 2 of them. It's got the D-ring at the top. Really decent sheath, holster, whatever you want to call it. The packaging, very nice. I did do an unboxing, so I'm not going to get into all that right now, but good sturdy box or sleeve with some good structure on the inside. Pretty decent. Here are the specs. So we've got 1500 lumen flashlight, 1000 lumen without the included high output battery. So if you just go to a regular 18650, you're only going to get 1000 lumens. It steps down to 700 after 3 minutes and stays there for 120. So our high mode is 700 lumens for 2 hours, medium 250 for 6 hours 15 minutes, medium 2 is 60, low is 15, and then we have our moonlight mode, which is 1 lumen. So we are waterproof, what's it say here, 1.5 meter drop resistant, IPX8 waterproof, yeah, 5.47 ounces, and that said including the battery. So without the battery, the light is 3.7 ounces. All right, so this has strobe mode as well. Very similar to any of my other Olights that I carry. Triple click for strobe on the side switch. The tail switch is only for momentary and constant on mode. So if you go a partial click, it'll give you a momentary. If you push all the way and click it, it'll be permanently on, unless you change the modes of the light, in which case you can have it be either on or strobe. So there's your two functions right there. I don't know if you can see that. So momentary or on and strobe. So partial touch is always momentary, but depending on the mode you're in, it's either going to give you full on turbo mode or it's going to give you strobe. All right. Battery life, I've been, if I use it a lot and if I'm actually using it, testing it in turbo mode, I usually charge it up that night, but it's, I've not had it run down on me. I usually charge it, I don't know, if I'm using it heavily, I'm going to charge it every 2 days, if I'm out at the camp and really putting use through it. But if it's just being packed around in your backpack through the week and you're not doing anything where you're going to need it all the time, the battery's going to last you a good long while. If you're using turbo all the time, again, 120 minutes is what it says you can get on the 700 lumen setting if it's stepped down from the 1500. So you're looking, you're not going to have that long if you actually run it on full 1500 lumen turbo all the time. It's going to, last you probably half an hour, I would imagine, total. If you don't let it step down, if you keep toggling it off. But nobody really runs the lights like that. If you're out doing a search for something, then sure, you're going to want to carry some spare batteries with you. But just during regular use, you get lots of time to get this charged. Also super handy, it's got the magnetic tail cap that charges right through here. This also works for the remote pressure switch from the M2R, from the Warrior X. Although it works differently, it's not a momentary and a full, if you hold it down, it's not going to give you momentary. It's going to just turn on every time, unlike the Warrior X. So it is a little bit different in that regard. It still uses that tail cap, but it's like the programming is a bit different. So, but yeah, this right here, you can hold down the side switch to turn it on. That gives us our moonlight mode. Hold it down and brighten it up all the way up to turbo. And of course I'm outside and it's a bright sunny day today, so you're not going to really see it, but double click gives you turbo instantly, very bright, and triple click gives you the strobe, and it is a very intense strobe. Would do a very good job to disorient someone if you needed to. It has this little bezel in the front. It is not aggressive, it's not like a strike bezel like some would call them, but it's a really nice little accent. Just the blue on there, the blue around the switch, very nice. The other thing this has that my other Olights don't, or some of them don't, is a lockout feature. So you can hold down this button until the light goes out, and it's now locked out. And I don't know if you'll see it or not. I'm going to put it in the shade here down the corner. See the red coming on? Yeah, so that means it's locked out. It will not turn on for you. All right, so then you just hold it down again to turn it on. There it is. So very handy when you've got it going in your pocket. Speaking of pocket, this pocket clip is amazing. Look how deep that is. Just goes right down to the top of the flashlight. Very nice. You can switch it around, put it here, just pop it off. And put it this way. All right. Now clearly that's not going to carry as deep, but it's better if you're going to put it on the brim of your hat or something. It's a little heavy for that, but you could do it. But I prefer the other way around, where it's really nice deep carry right there. That's just the best place for that pocket clip as far as I'm concerned. Unless you're weapon mounting it, and then just take it off and put it in your standard flashlight mount for your Picatinny rail, and yeah, you're golden. I really like the magnetic tail cap feature on Olights. This one's a little weak, as is the Warrior X. I don't think it's meant for the same thing as like the S1A. This thing here, I'll just show you a comparison. As far as goes, that is great. You can work under a vehicle with it, and it'll just stay there. Super great, like that a lot. But this one will hold its own weight upside down, but it won't hold it with the torque of its own weight. You know, you get a little more leverage when you got it hanging straight off like that. So it'll only hold itself vertically, which kind of sucks. I wish it was more powerful, because I find this super handy for working on vehicles. You can just snap it anywhere you want, and it's going to stay there, and you're going to be able to illuminate whatever you need to illuminate under the truck, under the hood, under the frame, wherever you are working. It's not going to be a problem. This one doesn't really give you that functionality as much as you'd hope. You could snap it under the hood if it was up, as long as your hood had a fairly, horizontal flat spot. But any amount of leverage at all is going to snap this right off of whatever metal you're trying to hook onto. So something to keep in mind. If you do like that feature of this light, or of one like this, you don't really get to keep that feature with the Warrior the Warrior M2R or the Warrior X. Neither one of them really play ball in the magnetic tail cap game. It's just for charging, really. But I mean, this thing, the knurling is very nice. It's not aggressive that it would hurt your hand, but it gets you some grip. Very sweet. It's got a little bit of a heat sink up here to cool it off. It will warm up. It's 1500 lumen light. It'll definitely heat up your pocket if it happened to come on by mistake. So it's nice that it has the lockout feature. As you can see by that shot there, I think you can see, there we go. This is an orange peel reflector. And I will roll in some comparative shots with this, with the Warrior X and with the JetBeam 3M Pro. But this thing is not meant for throw. This is a floodlight. Great for most things. I mean, you don't need necessarily, 800 yards or, whatever of throw. Generally, if you're out in the woods and you're actually searching for something, that might be very handy. But just more everyday use, the flood is more practical, I think. And so this orange peel reflector really accommodates that, and does a really nice job of dispersing the beam and spreading it nice and wide and even. So I will roll in some comparison to the beams in a couple different scenarios before I roll in the unboxing. But yeah, there it is. This is the battery that it comes with. Yeah, this is one of Olight's batteries, 3.6 volts, 18650, ultra high drain. Okay, and in order to change the modes on this thing, what you're going to do is hold in the cap and press the side switch. So pressing the cap, tail cap, and then we press the side switch. And so now the modes are changed. So now this is only changing the mode for the tail switch, all right? So it gives us the strobe feature on the tail cap. So if you do a partial press, you get on. If you do a full press, you get strobe instantly. Now the strobe is also only momentary on. It doesn't stay on with the tail cap function, all right? And if you want to change that back, you, again, holding the tail cap, press the button on the side. So now we're back to normal. Now we have momentary on by partial switch, permanent on by full switch, full press. So pretty easy to change the modes. If you want to have quick access to strobe, that's the way you want to do it, right? So anyway, guys, I'm going to roll in some nighttime use footage, and we'll move on to the unboxing after that. All right, guys, so it's not pitch black out here, but it's definitely dark enough to test a flashlight. It's about 10 p.m. I can still see a little bit of blue in the sky, but it's pretty darn dark down here in the backyard. So I'm going to do some comparisons here, a couple of common flashlights, or at least something that you may know to compare to. So the first one I'm going to show you really shouldn't be much competition for this light, but it's definitely a common and well-known light. So this is the Surefire G2X Pro, 300 lumens. I think the new ones have 6, but this is one of the older models. So I'll just crank it up here. That is probably 15-20 yards away. Okay. And then we have the M2R Warrior, which is way brighter and a much more, I wouldn't say a much more even hotspot, but just much wider. I'll fire up the G2X again. You can see it's got a little bit more of a hotspot in the middle, but it's not very large compared to the Olight. The Olight definitely covers way more. It's definitely more of a flood. I wouldn't say that the Surefire is a spotlight by any means. It's also fairly floody, but it's definitely overpowered by the Olight, which it should be. It's much lower lumens. So I'll shut that off. Now we will put up the JetBeam 3M Pro. There we go. So that is 1100 lumens. And here is the Olight M2R Warrior. This is 1500 lumens. Okay. So again, you're going to have more of a focused hotspot with the JetBeam, which is on the left right now, than the Olight on the right, due to the orange peel reflector, whereas the JetBeam has the smooth reflector. So it definitely makes a difference, but you can see the spill is definitely more on the JetBeam, sorry, on the Olight. The Olight Warrior M2R has much more even light, and it just covers the whole backyard. It's very easy to see anything within its throw. And one more. This is not a fair comparison, but just to show you the two Warriors next to each other. So we got the Warrior X, which is ridiculous, and I love the color on the Warrior X. Alright, so it's a very natural color, and it lights up the trees like it's daylight. And then we have the M2R Warrior on the right, which is much more blue, cool white light than the natural white light. But the Warrior X just washes it out. I mean, it's, again, smooth reflector, and it's just meant for a lot of throw. But yeah, that is the M2R Warrior. Perfect for backyards, camping, tactical situations. If you're mounting it to a weapon, it would be great for all of those. It doesn't stack up as far as a searchlight, but it's not a long distance, laser beam searchlight. That's not the intent. So awesome light, great amount of light thrown, and I'd say definitely worth it. Alright guys, just to give you a bit of an idea, indoors on a blank wall, this is the wall I use for my projector. So it is 7.5 feet tall, 10 feet wide. I don't use the whole wall. I'm about 2 feet up when I'm actually projecting onto it, but I am 10 feet away right now from the wall. And this is the M2R Warrior. So this is 1500 lumens. Okay, I'll just put it dead center there for now. So it has a very nice hotspot and then very gradient all the way out. The spill comes, at least 6 feet back on the ceiling from about mid-wall, and covers the entire end of the room for sure. You can see the outside edges. Alright, so that was turbo mode. As a comparison, I've got an 1100 lumen JetBeam 3M Pro. So this is 1100 lumens, and this is 1500 lumens on the M2R. Definitely a wider hotspot. The Jet Beam, this is a little bit like comparing apples to oranges. The Jet Beam has a smooth reflector, whereas the M2R has the orange peel reflector. So you can see it's more of a focused hotspot on the Jet Beam and spread out on the M2R. Okay, and this is the crazy 2000 lumen Warrior X. Super focused hotspot in the center. Lots of spill. It's bright all over, but it's really hard on the eyes. It's close to a wall, actually. I'm 10 feet away. This thing has some crazy throw, though, so that focused hotspot really makes a difference. You know, when we're out hundreds of yards, you can see things a lot better. So there's one light, and then we'll get you the comparison. This is the M2R on the left. So you can see it's much more of a blue light than the natural white on the right side. So this is the Warrior X. This is the M2R. Definitely the 2000 lumen just washes out the 5000 lumen M2R pretty badly. But again, this is really meant for throw, not for short distance. So again, that is our 1500 lumens M2R Warrior. 10 feet away. Very bright, very good for indoors, any kind of tactical situation. Very good for backyard or camping or any of that, where you're not really trying to search for things at a crazy long distance, but you just want to illuminate a large part of the woods or part of the yard. Great all-around light. And just one more comparison. We have the M2R. We have the Jet Beam 3M Pro. And we have the Warrior X, which is just insane. Warrior X washes all of it out, but is also the highest lumen and the highest cost out of the bunch. That again is the Jet Beam and the M2R Warrior. Hey guys, got an unboxing video on the Olight M2R Warrior. So I already have the Warrior X and I have a video of that up, but this is its little brother. So this was, I believe, out first, but this is a 1500 lumen tactical flashlight. Has a few different features. XHP35 LED on it. It's got strobe mode. What do we got here? So it's got a turbo, which is 1500 lumens or 1000 lumens, which steps down to 700 lumens. I don't know what the or 1000 is. I'll have to look that up. High 700 lumens, medium 250, medium 260 lumens, low 15 lumens, and it has a moonlight mode. It does also have a strobe, which I don't see on the specs here, but it does. I'm positive this thing has a strobe. So pretty standard Olight boxing here. Packaging, I should say. So it's multi-mode. You can set it to a version that has strobe function, or you can set it to one that doesn't. So we'll take a look here. And very similar to the Warrior X, once you get on the inside, the Warrior X had a box that kind of opened up and was like magnetically latched. This one here is just a thinner box on the outside, and then just the platform on the inside. So here we go. So yeah, it does talk about the different modes. So you can see it does standard mode and enhanced tactical mode, which includes the strobe feature. In order to change the modes, I believe you hold the power button down or hold the switch down while screwing it on here, but let's see here. Okay, no, actually it's different. So that's how you change the Warrior X. On the M2R, you hold down the tail switch, deep press and hold, and then you press the side switch to switch modes. So, easy enough. So it's in there good. There we go. So please charge it fully before you use it. That's fine. I have not opened this yet, so I will charge it before I fire it up. But there's the light. M2R Warrior. Feels nice and solid. Pretty hefty for its size, actually. It's you know, pretty standard 18650 size flashlight, but definitely feels nice and solid. So we have the multi-stage tail cap. So if you do partial push, and it says it right here, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So partial is momentary, or click it on fully to make it stay on, or go to strobe. So you can push it kind of partway down just for your momentary on, and then push it hard down for on or strobe. And then you can cycle through the functions with the side switch. So I assume we probably have a battery cover in here. Yep. So I take battery out, or battery cover off, sorry. And we've got a 3500 milliamp hour 18650 Olight battery. Very nice smooth tail cap on it. So we've got the normal Olight pocket clip, which I love. So they're dual function, right? So you could put it on this way, or you could put it on this way. And we got a visitor on the table. Hey, kitty. So yeah, I definitely like the way Olight designs their pocket clips. I think that's super smart design, really functional. This does have a magnetic charging cable with it. It should be in this little box. What else do we have here? S1R baton. Okay, so we got some advertising, and we have a user manual. Now this one here shows 2 turbo modes as well. It's got it displayed differently than the box did, but let's see if we can find out what exactly they're talking about there. Okay, so if the battery used is not at least 6 amp, it will not support the 1500 lumen turbo mode. So that would explain it. So if you're using a smaller capacity battery, smaller amperage battery, it's only going to give you the 1000 lumens. So that explains the 2 different turbo modes. We are using Olight's battery, so we're going to get the full 1500 lumens out of the turbo mode, not 1000. So that's great. And we have the sheath, or holster, whatever you want to call it. With the accessories inside. So we've got a lanyard. I've never once used an Olight lanyard. I just don't put lanyards on my flashlights. So that's going to go with a stack of them that I have here at this point. Here is the charger. So these are usually labeled. I have one that's labeled special. I have another one that's labeled differently for the Olight Warrior X. This one has no label. It just is labeled Olight. So I'll try to keep track of these things and see if I don't know if there's any difference for sure, but there it is. Magnetic tail cap. is used for charging. And the holster feels pretty sturdy, so it's got a button on the back and a nice tight belt loop there as well below it. And there it is in the pouch. Very nice. Alright guys, well I'm going to put this thing on the charger, and I will get back to you guys with some usage and kind of a better overall review of it. And I'll just probably roll this unboxing in at the end of that video like I did with the Warrior X, so stay tuned. Alright guys, thanks for checking me out for this review. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you are still here, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification button. I do have more flashlight and other videos coming soon. Check me out on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, and I'm on Patreon. So if you guys want to support the channel and you don't mind providing a couple extra dollars, it allows me to get more product and be able to do more reviews for you folks, and whether it be more ammunition, more lights, more knives, whatever that case may be, or even a little gas money to go camping. Every little bit helps. So appreciate your support. Also, check me out on my affiliate link. Olight has given me an affiliate link for the United States and for Canada. They are both listed below. This flashlight is going on sale very soon on the 12th. Stick around to check that as well.